Hello and welcome to ATG 4950. After the testing stage, you need to finalize your design and identify the product components. We are still going to use most of the tools and techniques used in Senior Design 1, including the work breakdown structure and the Gantt chart that you developed with the list of all activities required to produce one unit. Remember that we did that. You know how much to produce one unit, and that will be translated later on into mass production. In addition, the results of the survey done in the first session will be used to find the quality function deployment, or to develop the quality function deployment, to translate that into design specifications which will capture product features and functions. Knowing the component will assist in finalizing the bill of materials, identifying sources of the components or what we call suppliers, and defining production processes. Looking back at the product life cycle, if you remember, we had this same drawing or same graph in the past semester, or in the last semester. You can see that your product still in the introduction phase. Although you will prepare all the documents and calculations for the production, the team will complete the project for senior design just by displaying the final prototype of the product. So basically, we can say that we are going to stop in the introduction phase. So the introduction phase, the cost will be more than the revenue, but we can calculate the future break-even point through identifying the number of units that should be sold to recover the initial investment. In the introduction stage, the product is tuned for the market, and that's what you're doing right now. So you need to tune your product to be able to release it to the market. This tuning will be done through the feedback that we got, the surveys that you are doing, the interviews, and the focus groups. The survey results will show the market acceptance to such new products. So when you just ask your friends, ask your neighbors, ask your co-workers, what do you think of this product? Would you buy it? Do you think it's a good product? And you get their feedback, so you will know if they accept it or it's been accepted in the market or not. And the targeted audience has been already identified. Included in this stage will be finding the best reliable suppliers of product components. And we will go over sourcing and finding the best supplier in a different chapter. This figure shows the different activities that you went through and you will be going through to introduce the product to the market. Remember that you did you looked at the concept, the feasibility, you collected customer requirements, started with the functional specification, product specifications, you created a prototype, you made a design review with the feedback that we did last semester. Now you are in the testing phase. You are trying to test it to see if the market will accept it or not, or if the customer requirements are met. And then you introduce it. You will introduce it to your customers. If you can, give the prototype to some of your friends or family and say, can you try that for me? And then evaluate that product. That will be great. So this is part of the process that you are going through. You are trying to not only introduce the product, but also to evaluate to see if it's been accepted or not. So we did all that. We went through all these stages, all these phases, and we are trying to see how we can introduce that product to the market. One of the tools that was introduced last semester was the quality function deployment, which maps and translates customer needs into design specifications. If you have the PowerPoint, you can go back to it, but I will show you a brief of what we did last semester. And if you remember, we did like a camera, the requirements, what are the needs for a camera, and then we defined the specifications and so on. This process is used in the design process to capture the characteristics of the product that will satisfy customer needs. Just as a reminder, to develop the house of quality, we need to perform the following steps. First, we need to identify customer needs. And again, with the survey, with the feedback, with the interviews, with all what you're doing, actually you are capturing customer needs. And then you need to identify how the product will satisfy those needs. And then we need to relate customer needs to product house. How would the product satisfy those needs? What do I need to have as features, as characteristics in that product? And then we need to identify the relationships between the product house, and then develop an importance rating, which need is more important. Most likely there will be some trade-offs between the needs, and you will make a balance between these trade-offs to make sure that you are satisfying all customer needs. And then you will evaluate competing products to make sure that you are not only competing with them, but you are exceeding, so you can find yourself a share in the market. This is the house of quality or the quality function deployment that we talked about, or that we used last semester. It's a tool for collecting the design specifications through mapping that to customer needs. So what we did, we have the customer needs here, we have the product specifications here. How can we satisfy the wants or the needs from defining or identifying specifications? And then we have the relationship matrix, and then the technical attributes, and then we analyze that, or we compare that with other competitors in the market. This is the overall picture of the house of quality. By looking at that, we can identify the product specifications and technical aspects as we did in the last semester. And you know how to do it. We did it before, so this is just another practice for this one. And again, you know, if you need to redo this one or know how to do it, I can assist you with that. I can provide you the template to do it. Based on the developed house of quality, we can also assign resources to company's activity in response to customer requirements, starting from the design characteristics to specific components to production process to the quality plan. The focus of the quality function deployment is to capture customer needs from the first time, which will eliminate any wasteful efforts. You don't want to continue designing and designing and designing, and that design will not satisfy or will not be up to the expectation of the customer. So you need the product design that will satisfy all customer needs and compete with similar products in the market. Using the quality function deployment, you can even exceed customer expectations by offering new features or other features that does not exist in competing products. And that's the key innovation of your product. We use teams approach to develop this product, and you know that this is the approach that we used. Your team included different skills and different backgrounds, and you work together to design and develop a product out of an idea. Your team worked with an effort, a team effort, to get into this stage. You need to continue that effort. You need to continue communicating with the team, and you need to work to get to the goal or the main result, and display or present that at the end of this semester. Actually, in real project environment, the team members will be from different engineering disciplines, some from mechanical engineer, some from electrical engineer, some from civil engineer. It depends on the projects that you are working on, but you might see different engineering disciplines in the project working together to achieve the main goal. During the research, development, design, and production stages, The team will work on selecting the proper components that will reduce complexity, improve functions, improve safety, and improve maintainability with acceptable cost. We are looking at all these features, all these things together. So it's very important to develop the product, but with certain safety measures, and we want it to be maintainable, easy to maintain after a while. And then, we are looking also at acceptable costs that can be compete in the market or can be acceptable by the customer. All the features and functions added to the design must be of a value to the customer. We have to make sure that the customer will be willing to pay for these features. After testing and design adjustments, the team will have the engineering drawings up to scale showing dimensions, tolerance, and materials. Now at this stage, you should be done. You should have the final drawings for the engineering up to scale with the proper dimensions. The drawings should show the different technologies and their codes. Whatever you used in these technologies or these standards that you used, their group, their codes, you need to have them within the engineering drawing. And of course, the most important is the final bill of material showing all the required components, their quantities, and their location in the product. The team will later develop a brochure to show their product, its key innovations, and different functions. The engineering drawings should look something like this. And as you can see, we have the material, we have the heat treat. For example, if we are looking at heat, we have the scale, we have the person who developed the drawing, we have the company's name, all the information that will be needed in addition to the dimensions and the scale or the dimensions up to scale for that product. This is an example for a bill of materials, and we talked about the bill of material, how we have the part number, the description of the that part, and the quantity. In addition, you need to show where this part actually located in the product. So that will be all for this session. If you have any questions, please use the provided channels and I will be more than glad to assist you. Have a great day. Thank you.